Today I would like to share information about my second experience with the great liver and gallbladder flush. Stay tuned. I have a lot to say. So this is my second attempt at the great liver and gallbladder flush, and based on my first experiences, I wanted to definitely do some things different and try to get a better result. I will link in the description box below the videos from my first experience with the liver and gallbladder flush. This time around, I wanted to make some changes based on my experience, and they were to use alkaline water the day of the cleanse and days following, to use unfiltered raw apple juice, and to change my diet and change the scheduling for the organic coffee enemas. Another thing that I did mention earlier that I did differently was, unlike the first time, I'm on this lifestyle change where I only eat in between the hours of 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. And so I did that throughout the cleanse as well, and that may have had an impact also. I would believe it would be positive though. So I believe during the first cleanse, the major factor was my diet. And this time I wanted to avoid mucus foods, acid foods, whether they were fruits, vegetables, or meat. And so I did meal prep and meal planning and also a kidney cleanse. And those videos I will link in the description box below that talk about what I was eating. And so I felt very hopeful. I checked my pH day 3 and it was above a 7.0. So I was on the alkaline side. And I didn't check my pH throughout the week because I was eating the same things. So I thought that the results would be different. So everything was going great. My pH was great. And I did well, and I followed the schedule as far as what I had implemented all the way up to day 6. So day 6, this is what went wrong. I unwisely decided to do some spring cleaning, and I'm the type of person that I put myself 110% focus in what I'm doing, and so I wound up forgetting about the cleanse. I forgot about the schedule, and this resulted in me not eating anything prior to the 1 to 2 o'clock cutoff period. I had no water, no food. More importantly, no apple juice. So I didn't eat anything and I didn't drink any water, but I felt it important that if I was going to continue with the cleanse, that I get some apple juice. So ill-advised in the book, because it says that you can have complications if you drink or eat after this period. I did get about 18 to 20 ounces of apple juice in, and I consumed that with the Epsom salt. The next thing that I did differently was the administration of the organic coffee enemas. The first experience I did it day 1, and I also did it during the cool down period. This time I decided, per the book or some other literature, to do an organic coffee enema day 6, and I believe the literature or the book says to do it on day 5 or day 6. So I did it. I was precautious because I hadn't taken in any nutrients that day, and I was essentially ridding my body of any nutrients that was stored in my intestines or any nutrient that I had the days prior. So I did one. I made sure that it was warm because I'm literally working with my liver and my gallbladder in this liver and gallbladder cleanse, so I did not want to cause any shocks to my body. And it wound up being okay, even though I had not taken in any water prior to. So what was different? This time around, I did not have a problem with the schedule. I stuck to the schedule. So that was different from my first time. I did also have, night sweats. The first time that I did the cleanse, I was able to go to bed immediately. This time that I did the cleanse, I was awake. I did not go to bed right away. The book says to lay in darkness on your right side and relax or rest. So that's what I did, and I finally drifted off to sleep. I did both times have the night sweats. This time I did not wake up sweating out the grapefruit and olive oil mixture. I did have a rough night. It wasn't painful either time. I just had a more peaceful sleep the first time. This time I kind of tossed and turned a little bit and was unsettled. So there were definitely some differences. The release period was the same on both cleanses in between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Unlike the first time, this release period was quick. It was 2 big releases and then it was done. I did not have activity all day long. The first experience there was more to it, and that video will be in the description box below. Also, I did not have the stones or the texture or the little grainy things filtering out of me at all. I could not feel what was coming out. It was completely liquid. Before, it became a little bit of an irritant or a discomfort having that scrape out all day long. This time it was straight, quiet, and for informational purposes, I will have a picture at the end of this video that shows what came out. In my opinion, it's not gross or graphic at all, but I do notice that there was a difference in between doing an organic coffee enema and doing this liver and gallbladder flush. So I really wanted to know, my whole point in doing the filtering or the catching what was coming out was because I wanted to know, does it actually work? Because the skeptics are saying that it's a hoax, it's not effective, and so that's why I filtered. Specifically, I can see the difference because I monitor because of my experiences with intestinal parasites and things like that. But doing an organic coffee enema, the things that come out are flesh color, or they're brown, or they're orange. They are the color of what you would think would be in your intestines after you break down the food. During the liver and gallbladder flush, what came out was green. Everything was green. It was intriguing because I had done an organic coffee enema right before before the purging stuff was to occur. So there was no green in my intestines. And furthermore, the material that came out, even if what comes out during the organic coffee enema is gel-like or soft or mucousy-like, it's brown. This stuff was green. It could have been plaque, mucoidal plaque or something like that. But everything, most of this material was green. I also had some seeds, and that week I did not eat any seeds, and any seeds that I ate in the buckwheat was ground up. So I had no whole seeds, so I'm literally, there was a cleanse from some part of my digestion that the organic coffee enema didn't reach. So from my understanding, the organic coffee enemas are not supposed to touch the liver. The coffee, the material in the coffee stimulates the intestines to cause the liver to release, and that's why the organic coffee enemas are so effective. With this, I was getting stuff from places that, apparently I don't even know exist. And I have pictures of the seeds as well, and there were several seeds inside of there. So I believe it was effective. Also, I found out that even with my diet alterations, I still was acidic. So the first time that I did the liver and gallbladder flush, I knew that I was acidic while I was eating. Although I was eating plant-based things, I had tomatoes as the major base, and I felt it in my mouth while I was eating. This time around, I even refrained from doing the lymphatic smoothies with the pineapple and things like that, because I know that has a reaction in my mouth. And I checked my pH and I was not acidic. But day 6 or day 7, The day of the cleanse, I was acidic. I checked my pH right after all the purging, and I was acidic. But this time I was prepared. I had the alkaline water. I went to a plant-based diet, and I also observed the soup, and I kept my everything that I ate light. Um, and I was still acidic 3 days in, even after doing the organic coffee enema during the cool down period. I was still acidic, and that may just be a reaction from doing the liver and gallbladder flush. I would really be interested in seeing or hearing about someone that is at a different level of health if they're acidic afterwards. Also, this may be, just what occurs. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to be mindful of the schedule, mindful of what I'm doing, and see if I get a different result. I just may not have gallstones.